There's a lot of bad people. There are a lot of people who want to destroy your government. And I'm telling you for a fact, Mr. President, so when you Kisiejabe and I will go to office now, your government will struggle. Ofori-Atta, as far as Kisiejabe is the OSP, Ofori-Atta is never coming to Ghana. I'm telling you on authority, Mr. President. Now, Mumianko straight. Now yanko OSP no story no, because that is the story of the day. Egigim. The OSP, Kisiejabe, I can tell you Ghanaians on authority, the fight against corruption, yepe obia or hinder Ghana, or distracting a investigation, obia oma criminals, omo protection in disguise, is this guy called Kisiejabe. And after this episode, you will understand. After this expose, you understand why we don't have to have the special prosecutor in office. Why the president needs to take decision and sack the special prosecutor. OSP, can Ofori-Atta also identify Ghana? And remember, in 2024, Ghana budget, $13.7 million. And yedema a special prosecutor, Kisiejabe, almost $14 million. What about Ghana citizens? 147 million Ghana cedis. And ye tam edema a OSP say pub di juma na omo di adwum ewia no sankofo no for di juma na yan twibiase no monko da fiase. Almost $14 million. And ye tam edema Kisiejabe. You ask yourself, how many people work at the OSP office? How many people have been prosecuted? A day na ekoso Ghana. Some questions needs to be answered. It is looking like politics as usual, complaints as usual, rhetoric as usual. We come on TV, come on radio, we talk, and the next day we walk. No, things have to change. And things have to change because we cannot make it politics as usual. All the time. Something needs to happen. Some changes have to happen to make sure, say, now, maybe nipa or stop it. Ofori-Atta from coming to Ghana, and the person doing that is the special prosecutor, and it's not just Ofori-Atta. You see, in Ghana today, say many detectives say obi di sika. Na say yen nyina yehu se sandi pay we di sika or say twena so pe. Trom na special prosecutor drew ho. And what does he do? He will go and arrest, and you line up charges, and then at the end of the day, he will tell you that the person should go home. He's investigating. There are hundreds of cases like that ever seen there. The special prosecutor, they say, why no ninja? Or share obia we dia sika won in semupe or semachew. Come for interrogation. Oba or semajewa no asem. Or say, okay, machewa no asem. Go. I will investigate it. And it has gone on and on and on. $13 to $14 million. Yenya any results from it. Now, Ofori-Atta yetiha and I United say Yednakoto Interpol red list so or red alert or whatever list so. And I United say yeah. Because when him say Ofori-Atta is an integral person when it comes to investigating the Akufo-Addo administration. So one of the boats and I said not a Akufo-Addo abaimu. So we Ofori-Atta the whole Akufo-Addo government will come down. And people like the special prosecutor, he knows about that. So what you can Ofori-Atta dinijina dekema, obia owia sika wo Akufo-Addo aban nyina obia homeda ho, including Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself. The special prosecutor knows that. Now, why is it say Kisiejabe entumi fa Ofori-Atta emafie? Why? What is so special about Ofori-Atta, Kisiejabe, say, or the number Interpol yet to me for number 3? Now, let's go back and let me show you how dangerous this special prosecutor is. This is the part 1 of the special prosecutor scandal. Now, maybe I expose in the end there. Let's have the second one about. This man has to honorably resign from that office. This special prosecutor has 2 offices. Or the special prosecutor's office and or what the annex are a daya papa na your friend seconds Sa papa no esiama na or the special prosecutor duties. This special prosecutor or not the car will be we no sachi ni pano. This man. It wasn't team. It wasn't part of. It wasn't part of today. But 1 second. Special prosecutor. Or to be the car bobi. Or the car na boni panewi no. Me bechire no de waye. Ansa na mabana asem kraso nde. He's crazy. Or to be the on the convoy bobi ese ne car. Owia na wasame achi nipa no. Adeya adentina ono de car na boni pano. Wase nipa ne car this guy. Special prosecutor Paul Ademochi no, it was to protect Paul Ademochi from going to jail. This is the car. Or the car, the convoy, the bulletproof car no, or the boka we mu ese no esachi nipa no.
So no say me na my born on no. E do what? How me I go fit hit car way this place where we go do so. So that's the front of the car. I want to know where me I hit. So no say me na my born on no. E do what? How me I go fit hit car way this place where we go do so. So that's the front of the car. I want to know where me I hit.
Or the car no back way car no side no, and side the koko or chin 2 more on one fee. Kisie jabeng. Kiseja being or the ball abrante we kamu or we no sachi no. How can you use your side of the car or car side? It will be be. But that is what he does. Power ne kutana, that is what he uses it for. Or Pameka say video we me boa. Or Pamra Bron Tibeka say I saw the video or the make a court. It's a lie. Today. This man locked the gentleman up in his own home. He locked him up. Now, Yanko Ofori-Atta issue ni so. Now, I'm sure how dangerous this OSP is and why we should get rid of him. And I'm doing this piece for the President of the Republic. I want the President to understand, with all due respect, that this man, if he's not kicked out of that office, your government will struggle. I am telling you. So when you special prosecutor we and now when closes our office down, your government will struggle. Because this special prosecutor will not allow your government to do what Ghanaians want. Ghana for here, Ken Ofori-Atta, the OSP is the one blocking Ken Ofori-Atta from coming to Ghana. Now I'm sure idea. On the 2nd of June 2025, this happened. The OSP wrote a letter to the Jubilee House. And he wrote a letter to the Chief of Staff. Chief of Staff Julius Debra. Follow this conversation very well. This is 2nd June 2025. Me make sure I DB. The Chief of Staff, Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra. Attention, Honorable Julius Debra. Request for the institution of extradition processes. Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Kenneth Ofori-Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic of Ghana between 2017 to 2024. This request is founded on the consideration that Mr. Ofori-Atta, who departed the jurisdiction early January 2025, has no intention of voluntarily returning to the jurisdiction, and for which reason the OSP has declared him a wanted person and a suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses regarding the following. Where a letter OSP Echoko Jubilee House or say ye man kwine na onfa e kwan so na onkofa Ken Ofori-Atta embra Ghana. Now, 1. Contractual agreement between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. Or say, Nyoma Ojina so Akache Chief of Staff say, Omunjina so making sure say, Oma fam kwai so edi Ofori-Atta ban ebinye Ofori-Atta eba oil eye dream okahon eba gold dream okahon eba eye dien Ghana yesika sem eye Ghana Revenue Authority sika ejeje eto ken Ofori-Atta dream ose sa nyoma we nyina aka ho ose termination of a distribution loss reduction and associated eye network improvement project contract between the ECG and Beijing Xiao Cheng Technology BXC. And 3, procurement of contractor and materials and activities and payment in respect of National Cathedral Project. Iti see when in your mark can Ofori-Atta ya on trauma Julius Debra on the 2nd of June. Say man quine now man every resource or here be any every idea assistance biana on to me extradite can Ofori-Atta embra Ghana every second Ofori-Atta Ghana kwa America. So the special prosecutor wrote to the office of the president, specifically to the chief of staff. Now, remember, the chief of staff, he's not a prosecutor. He's not an investigator. So what did the chief of staff do? The chief of staff forwarded the letter to the Attorney General. This letter was on the 2nd of June, 2025. It's Diana, the chief of staff, because chief of staff, on your prosecutor, chief of staff, or just CID boss, chief of staff, the only thing he can do is to give it to the legal brain. A buying lawyer opinion say, special prosecutor say, or per se, offer a crime bisuko for Ken Ofori-Atta by Emra Kwanson de here into where we are buying lawyer opinion no gelatano ne di hujuma. Into what the chief of staff did, Julius Debra, he forwarded this to the Attorney General. Now, when the Attorney General received the letter, the Attorney General actually responded to the special prosecutor. Now, on the 13th of June 2025, so from the 2nd to the 13th, how many days? Anche and Attorney General, the second letter now or responding to the special prosecutor. Say the course, dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, sit Haile Selassie Avenue, South Ridge, blah 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 blah. Dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, this is the response from the Attorney General. Mebesa Ochina OSP Babon Tebeka said this letter when you are fake. Na men chire ni bibi or Ghana. He needs to leave that office. $14 million. No. Now, in Tisa letter ko Julius Debra nsa e Jubilee House no. And the Attorney General say, hey, me menya law. Mona moye law, deal with the OSP to help bring Ken Ofori-Atta back. And Attorney General said, yes, sir, we will do that. So the Attorney General too responded to the special prosecutor. And what did he say to the special prosecutor? I say, dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, requests for the institution of extradition processes, Mr. Kenneth Ofori-Atta, that is the response. I say, I bring you compliments from the office of the Attorney General. I say, 1, this is in respect of your letter to the Honorable Chief of Staff, dated June 2nd, 2025, and the Honorable Chief of Staff's letter to the Honorable Attorney General, dated the 3rd of June, 2025. Now, secondly, kindly furnish us with a copy of the docket on the subject. The Attorney General said, Mr. Kisie Jabin, yensaka o letter na wo chokoma Chief of Staff, the 2nd of June, no. On the 3rd year, na letter near the following day. Na sebi yensu saka na yepese ebusa wo. Se docket na eda Ofori-Atta so no. Sa docket na nke opese yeboa fa sa docket ne breye. Forward the docket no na yenhu investigations awaye nyoma ewom na yene the Attorney General's office no we can collaborate with you to find a way to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back to Ghana. The Attorney General was explicit in his statement. Kindly furnish us with a copy of the docket on the subject, and the subject is Ken Ofori-Atta. The Attorney General Nibusa OSP. Yɛpɛsɛ ode sa docket no. Ne nyoma na wa yɛ nyina no fabre. We will be grateful if you could nominate up to 2 prosecutors from your office to join our team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition request. And Attorney General say, OSP, ye ni beji say, odi docket na eba no, odi 2 investigators so be free office aka docket no ho, se ne be ya omo ne betena table ho, na ye nyina ya hwem, na ya hwe how we can execute this extradition process. This is on the 13th of June. Letter ne beka Julia Debransa on the 2nd. On the 3rd, and a letter ne koka edien, ekoka eye Attorney General nsa. On the 13th, and a ocho letter edekoma adien, edekoma eye OSP. Inti Attorney General busa for docket. And also busa say for investigators be mienu kura ka ho. Na mo beka ye ho na yenhwe asem wei na hu how we can bring Ofori-Atta to Ghana. Now, we will be grateful if you could nominate 2 of your prosecutors to be part of Munyambeka. Accept the assurance of my highest consideration. Very truly yours. And this was the response from the Attorney General to the OSP. The Attorney General responded to OSP say, "Yate, obesogo ken Ofori-Atta ba a fine idea. For docket ne bra, na docket no de ba no, for investigators me nuka ho no mbra, no mo ne entrance, na afi yen strategize na yehu how we can bring Ofori-Atta to Ghana." 13th of June 2025. Now, after that, after that, something happened. After that, the special prosecutor wrote to the Attorney General. I want him to come out tomorrow, no press conference. Don't say, when you know me boy. The Attorney General cannot be trusted. And make sure I could tell you, he cannot be trusted today. Nti Ochokoma Julius Debra, chief of staff, and a Julius forwarded letter to come Attorney General, and Attorney General responded, and all responded to Attorney General's response. Or say, Honorable Justice Shrem Sai, the Deputy Attorney General, and Ocho letter away on the 20th of June 2025. Into 1 week, Pepe and all responding to this letter from the Attorney General. Or say, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, sends its compliment to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice. Osemi chechi amu nyina mo Attorney General Office. Yede akomapa ene odo ene ichia mo ene wi yede anu asem bi ebremo. I refer to your letter dated 13th June 2025 in reference to my letter to the Chief of Staff dated 2nd June 2025 and a Chief of Staff reference to the Attorney General dated 3rd June 2025. In respect of the OSP's request for extradition processes to be instituted, in which extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Ken Ofori-Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic of Ghana between 2017 and 2024. Let me take this again. I refer to your letter dated 13th of June 2025 in reference to my letter to the Chief of Staff dated the 2nd June 2025 and the Chief of Staff's reference to the Attorney General dated 3rd June 2025 in respect of the OSP's request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Ken Nana Ya Ofori-Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic between 2017 and 2024. The OSP nominates the following officers to join the team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition requests. The OSP nominates the following officers to join the team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition requests. 1. Director Albert Akurugu, the Director Asset Recovery and Management Division. 2. Kaiser Francis Amedome Wilson, Senior Prosecutor. Now, OSP responded to Attorney General. Attorney General Ebusa the 2 questions. ubetumi amayansa ka docket no. Ena ubetumi edi 2 investigators aka ho aba eni abetena se. Na yenhwe se de be kwakwachi Ofori-Atta. Attorney General responded OSP responded to Attorney General no. He only spoke on the prosecutors or investigators. The OSP did not mention the docket. Without the docket, the Attorney General cannot proceed or cannot start investigating Ken Ofori-Atta's matter. But interestingly, when the OSP was responding to the Attorney General, he omitted the docket part and said, or send the prosecutors, no. Now, you are sending prosecutors to the Attorney General to do what? Without a docket. It is strategically, some investigation now say why ye. Nyoma e what docket na Ofori-Atta ye. Nyoma e what say Attorney General no so ehu. Na ye gina so e make sure a process no aye effective e me de e Ken Ofori-Atta aba no. Sa docket no OSP say on fan Attorney General. Na mum he has sent 2 of his men to come to the Attorney General to help with the extradition process. How do you start extradition process when you don't have the evidence? You, the special prosecutor, you have the docket. What is stopping you from giving the Attorney General the docket? But you see, strategically, time I responded to Attorney General, no, he did not give the Attorney General the docket of Ken Ofori-Atta. And you ask yourself, why? So you ask yourself, why? How? The Attorney General sends his prosecutors and investigator, but he refuses to send the docket. The OSP cannot be trusted. I'm not talking about the Attorney General. The OSP. The OSP cannot be trusted. I made a mistake. I said Attorney General cannot be trusted. The OSP, the special prosecutor, cannot be trusted. So, Attorney General just put 2 requests in. Give me investigators and let them come with a docket and let us start the investigations and bring Ofori-Atta. The OSP sends only investigators and prosecutor. He decides not to add the docket. In fact, he decided not to give the Attorney General Ken Ofori-Atta's docket. So the question is, why? The question is, why? Why, sir, the office of the special prosecutor, Kisie Jabin, will refuse to hand over Ken Ofori-Atta's docket? I don't know, person be my Attorney General. No. Why? Now, let me show you something. Why we cannot trust the special prosecutor. In fact, he's a dangerous guy. Now, you see this document. Document way, a letter, this is a letter, a free, the Attorney General's office, a call OSP, data, a shaso, and a hold. Now, my men show the AC. And after that, the Attorney General's office actually wrote a letter back. After OSP catch up say, or the investigators the Attorney General's office followed up and asked him about the docket. And this was on the 3rd of September 2025. Just the 3rd of September. And the date, the 16th of October. Ever since there, the special prosecutor has not responded to the Attorney General. Let's read what's in the letter. Now, the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, Hill Salasi, blah, 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 dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, and it was signed by the Deputy Attorney General. I want the OSP to come out tomorrow and say, dear Mekenina, send the Ofori-Atta mba Ghana, ni to me prosecute Ofori-Atta a special prosecutor. He knows what he's doing. Or then a block kwano or hijack it. Special prosecutor onim dia oye oni Ofori-Atta mwachi. He knows what he's doing. Let an Indian man can show. Or say, I bring you compliments from the office of the Attorney General. This follows letter to this office dated June 20, 2025, and subsequent conversation on subject Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta. 2. For urgent law enforcement decision-making purposes, kindly furnish this office with the following. Attorney General Sachro letter koma OSP say. Ya pesa usa this adwuma we ya kan docket ne mbae. Ya say busa for other things. 1. A copy of the dockets in its current state on the subject. 2. An investigative report, even if interim, on the suspect. 3. Any other information which you believe will be necessary for the purpose. And accept our assurances of my highest consideration. Very true, yours. Now, me bechere bibi mu achiro. Attorney General Sacho letter come OSP no. Meaning, OSP for docket ne maaye. Docket ni here and send extradition process need to make us ye. And Attorney General actual letter come no on the 9th of on the 3rd of September say, ye per se Attorney OSP. Omaye a copy of the docket in its current state. Or say docket no, baby I would rubiano or the we just want the docket. Don't tell us to say you are waiting to add some things and some. We just want it in its current form. It's okay for us. We can work with it. Don't tell us to say there are some things you are still investigating, because when it gets to us, we can still continue investigating. And anything our car say for our prosecutors and investigators, Brian Ho, Inti Attorney General was specific. Give us the docket in its current state, because you see, the OSP has always been hiding behind it is still under investigations. And if he tells you something is still under investigation, it can take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He will never finish investigating, because that is how he operates. And it's an Attorney General can say, it does not matter where the docket, the state it is in. Whatever you have gathered and whatever is in the docket, it is okay. Just bring it. This was on the 9th, on the 3rd of September. And the OSP and the Attorney General say, an investigative report, even if interim, or see, some my investigative report, no, even so we crowd baby rubiano, famaye. We can work on it. And Attorney General did not say, give it to me to work on it alone. Add your investigators and your prosecutors to it so that we can work on it with them together. And remember, the Attorney General is even calling for transparency, for his people to all sit with them to do the investigation into one docket, in its current state, whether whatever baby would be a famaye and an investigative report, sa reporter also why so far also we investigations baby would do is okay. We just want to see what investigations baby would do, give it to us. And a 3, any other information which you believe will be necessary for the purpose. See, document be account be a who say ebe hia se ebe boye amaya to adwuma de we so no fa ka ho ebe sinne. And I'm saying this on authority. The special prosecutor Kisie Jabin has not responded to the Attorney General. So who is blocking the extradition of Ken Ofori-Atta to Ghana? It is Kisie Jabin, the special prosecutor. Me say ebe sinne, the special prosecutor has not responded to the Attorney General from September. The Attorney General asked for the docket in its current form, the investigation report in its current state, and any other information. Ever seen there, Kisie Jabin has not responded to the Attorney General. Ask yourself why. Because Kisie Jabin does not want to hand over the investigative report to the Attorney General. Why? Because he's protecting Ken Ofori-Atta. In the Ken Ofori-Atta, let me tell you, last week or so, Ken Ofori-Atta eba any boys we no mudin komo or catch ne nafo for say ne papa. So beso tukwan or the private jet ne tukwan. And they don't know Ken Ofori-Atta, he does not carry a passport. Ken Ofori-Atta ne womb. That is Ken Ofori-Atta's son. That is what he was telling his friends. Also the papa can travel anywhere, and he travels on private jets. He goes to Europe, he goes to the Bahamas. Ne papa travels on private jet with a different name. Ken Ofori-Atta's son, he was bragging to a lady, a girl. So you see where we are. Inti Kisie Jabin onim say Ken Ofori-Atta or no na air protected Ken Ofori-Atta Ono na making sure say Ken Ofori-Atta will never come to Ghana to face a prosecution. It is Kissie Jabin who is protecting Ken Ofori-Atta. And majority of the people like Kissie Jabin say wafromo and they are under investigation or bois. He's protecting and shielding those people. That is how he makes his money. Into who say the people are mentioning you are in fact corrupt, and their evidence showing say you are corrupt. He'll come in quickly. He'll come in before the IOCO, he'll come in before the CID and tell them to stay away. He is in charge of the investigation. Remember, the OSP office is under the Attorney General's office. If you don't know, the OSP's office, it is under the Attorney General's office. And if the Attorney General demands or asking for a document, the OSP has no choice. He must give that document to the Attorney General. Why do you think he's not doing that? We have given this guy $14 million. $14 million. He cannot show anything. He has not prosecuted a single soul. It's Mumbusa Kissie Jabin Ochina say, why hasn't he provided these documents to the Attorney General? You see, sometimes, right? And I'm doing this because I want the president to know what is going on. There's a lot of bad people. There are a lot of people who want to destroy your government. And I'm telling you for a fact, Mr. President, so when you Kissie Jabin and I will go to office now, your government will struggle. Your government will struggle. Because Kissie Jabin is doing business. Kissie Jabin is one of the richest people in Ghana. So Kissie Jabin kind of crank up and also with jail and there. People are negotiating, using the office to do business. And that is what Kissie Jabin is doing. As we speak, Ken Ofori-Atta has been assured by Kissie Jabin that he will not expose or transfer the docket and the investigations he's done so far. Parliament approves $146 million budget for Special Prosecutor's Office. Almost $14 million. $14 million. Almost $14 million to the Special Prosecutor's Office. We are asking him to provide just the investigative report. Just a docket. Just a docket. Just a docket. And you see, Mr. President, there are people in your government who are moles giving Ofori-Atta and his group information every time your government, especially your intelligence, they decide on what to do about Ken Ofori-Atta's issue. There are people in your government who are the ones feeding information to Ken Ofori-Atta and his family. Mr. President, Mr. Jakpa, your group of investigators you work with, you have a mole in it. And those people are the ones feeding Ken Ofori-Atta and his family. Every decision you are taking when it comes to investigations, finding the corruption, and the steps you people want to take, there's somebody in your circle, Jakpa, the national security circle, about 2 people, they are the ones feeding Ken Ofori-Atta and his family information here. And the OSP is also helping. The OSP's office needs to be shut down. This man, Kissie Jabin, needs to be sacked. He cannot help. Ken Ofori-Atta, as far as Kissie Jabin is the OSP, Ken Ofori-Atta is never coming to Ghana. I'm telling you on authority, Mr. President. Yes. Let's say, as far as Ken Ofori-Atta, as far as you have Kissie Jabin as your special prosecutor, Docket Nikutano, or say on the investigations, Ken Ofori-Atta will never come to Ghana. And it is a deal between Kissie Jabin and Ken Ofori-Atta. He's never going to bring him back. So if you want the people to trust you and trust your government, Mr. President, if you want Ghanaians to know that you are different and that you want to leave a legacy, the Special Prosecutor's Office tomorrow morning, they need to hand over the docket to the Attorney General's office. They need to hand over the investigation report to the Attorney General's office. Kissie Jabin is the one blocking Ken Ofori-Atta's extradition. At least, mature evidence. The simple question I also be able to say, What is stopping the OSP from just giving the Attorney General Ken Ofori-Atta's docket? What is stopping him? This man, Mr. President, you need to sack him and investigate him. Not just sacking. The special prosecutor needs to be sacked, and after he's sacked, investigations need to be opened on the special prosecutor, because this man has caused a lot of damage. And if you don't take care, if we are going to play games, we are going to think this is normal, this OSP's office will shut down your government. He needs to be sacked and he needs to be investigated. I have a lot of report on this man, and he cannot stand before me and deny any of the reports. None of them. The simplest question is, why is the special prosecutor refusing to work with the Attorney General? Why? What will make the special prosecutor, who every day Ojina TV so can say, maybe somebody can Ofori-Atta ba, maybe not go to Interpol so yadeneba me investigation. Why is he not collaborating with the Attorney General to make sure Ken Ofori-Atta has been extradited? Because he works for Ken Ofori-Atta and his family. The Attorney General is using us to do business. $14 million. The guy is making money out of us. He needs to be sacked and he needs to be prosecuted. These are very important things. We need to investigate the special prosecutor. In the next 24 hours, we need answers from Kissie Jabin. Why? Why he has refused to respond to the Attorney General. The docket, the investigative report, and other information that will be necessary. Why has he decided to ignore the Attorney General? It is because Kissie Jabin, it is because the special prosecutor is doing business with Ghanaians. Let me tell you, Ghana for. The kind of information I'm on, majority of you people don't have. And I can tell you on authority, I don't trust the special prosecutor one bit from information I'm in. At least, man kase keke. I showed you document and I've given you a document to take to him and say, is this true? If the media really want to save this nation, when it comes to the fight against corruption, a war enemy, we can force for corruption to be nullified. Tomorrow we need to confront this special prosecutor and ask him, is this document a lie? Did the Attorney General write to you? I then one responded, Docket no papa dia. Investigative report no papa dia. Why don't you want us to see it? It is because no man investigations now are uncovered. So we release here or say and they can Ofori-Atta ba Ghana. He's not going to do it because there's a deal. You are still live on With All Due for the extended version. I'll be back after this short break. Gigim.
So when you come kokoda, say we shall when you come so coalition center na kobo electoral commission for home by the MI. So when you come kokoda, say we shall when you come so coalition center na kobo electoral commission for home by the MI. So when you come kokoda, say we shall when you come so coalition center na kobo electoral commission for home by the MI. So when you come kokoda, say we shall when you come so coalition center na kobo electoral commission for home by the MI.